The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Year after year, we watched the threat steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
No weapons of mass destruction were found.
Are you kidding me? Do you buy that? There were.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white.
Come on, let's shoot.
He would always ring my bang, bang. He shot me down, bang, bang.
Hey, I need to get the brass to drop ramps. I got a wounded girl. We need to take the rough to mile.
Oh,
it's their fault for bringing their kids to a battle. That's right.
The main reason we went into Iraq at the time was we thought he had weapons of mass destruction. It turns out he didn't, but he had the capacity to make weapons of mass destruction. But I also talked about the human suffering in Iraq.
Hello, boys and girls. I have a special message for you from the President of the United States. I salute the boys and girls who are buying United States savings stamps and bonds, and they're giving important support to the cause of freedom and the men who fight for us in Vietnam.
Congress gave us this authority in August 1964 to do whatever may be necessary. That's pretty far-reaching. The sky is the limit.
As an American citizen, you have to respect our president, whether I like it or not. It's really not my decision, but I do respect my president, and I will support whatever decision he makes.
Music played and people sang. Just for me, the church bells rang.
It is a hard fact that U.S. strikes have resulted in civilian casualties.
Now he's gone, I don't know why. Until this day, sometimes I cry. He didn't even say goodbye, he didn't take the time to lie.
The United States knows that Iraq has weapons of mass destruction.
One of the first things they told me was, you're not even to acknowledge the drone program. You're not even to discuss that it exists.
Renewed hostile actions against United States ships on the high seas and the Gulf of Tonkin have today required me to order the military forces of the United States to take action in reply. That reply is being given.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation, it's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
That's right. All right, I want to go to your calls. That last caller we spent about 5 minutes with, incredible story. First caller out of the gates, got polio after she was vaccinated for polio at birth. My grandmother, just growing up, it was, yeah, I got polio from the polio vaccine. Just boom, the doctors admitted that. But now, 64,000, just a few years ago, was in the Indian newspapers, children got paralyzed after the vaccine program sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates. And they said, yes, they're paralyzed. It's like polio. Well, it is polio. The insert for MMR says it gives you the measles and you can spread it for 60 days. Can give you diabetes. I mean, we wonder why diabetes is off the chart. It's a lot of things, but vaccines are part of it. It causes an autoimmune response in the pancreas, folks. It fries it. And I get why people are emailing saying it can't be true, it can't be true, that's not a real insert. Because you don't want to admit what they've done to you, a lot of you. All I'm doing is here warning you. I mean, it's so frustrating that we should be able to stop this and defeat this. And again, I mentioned that vaccine that they gave kids. Senator Paul talked about it, that was supposedly going to cure diarrhea, and then it would cause blockages in the children and kill them. They had to pull it off the market. We're the only country where most of this stuff doesn't get pulled. They usually make a new vaccine, and then 5 years later, or 10 years later, or a year later, they got to pull it off the market in other countries because people go, whoa, this is killing people. Not here. They just keep selling it and selling it. I mean, when you can give somebody a vaccine so they don't, quote, get earaches or get diarrhea or quote, get depressed, what do you think biologically that's doing to the body? Reprogramming it. We are the genetically modified organisms now. We are like Petri dish amoebas being manipulated, or lab rats, and it's not funny. Let's go to Rick in Florida. Rick, you're on the air. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Alex. Answering your question, heck no. I'm not taking any of their forced inoculations. That's an appalling violation of our Fourth Amendment. It's unconstitutional. Okay, why don't you tell your listeners about the thimerosal and the squalene that's in there?
I know, and they'll just say there's no mercury in it. I mean, I've been at Walgreens and shot videos arguing with them, and they go, there's no mercury. And I go, what's thimerosal? And they go, oh, that's a preservative, and it's the name of mercury.
I have a related question to ask you. I saw something on the internet about 30,000 guillotines being purchased by FEMA. What do you know about this?
It's a urban legend, rumor. There were some guillotines brought in out of Iraq after the first Gulf War, and that's where some of those rumors started. I appreciate your call. I've been getting that question for 20 years, about once a week. But it's good to ask questions, but that's as best I know. Let's go ahead. The real guillotine are these vaccines and the GMO. And there's new studies out about GMO corn killing pigs. I mean, this isn't a game, folks. Jeff in Michigan, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I am a health journalist. I want to go by 3 quick points that people might not know about these vaccines. So because the reason it says there have been no controlled studies is because we are the controlled studies right now. That's why we're the final stage of research, is the public. That's why.
No, that's, I mean, absolutely right. In fact, the CDC admits that the year before they did the H1N1 thing 5 years ago, they released the virus as a simulant in the last vaccine. So they're doing tests, they admit, inside the vaccine. So you're absolutely right. We are the mass test.
That's why the talking point in the mainstream media, they always say, well, it's got to be healthy because there's been over 1 million doses given, because they don't know. And also, the other point is they go by the germ theory. It's actually the law of the Charade by Antoine Beauchamp. He's the person that they forget about, and that is the argument for herd mentality. That's why it basically says the biological terrain of your body is what keeps you healthy. Not immunity does not come from a needle. That's why Dr. Group's products, when you detoxify your body, you are changing the biological terrain from toxic to non-toxic. And what that's doing is allowing you to have a greater immunity. That's what none of these mainstream people are talking about, is how to individually get your immunity up. They just want to push the needle.
Well, absolutely. And look, they're piggybacking on real science that's been going on for over 500 years with this learned immunity, with this artificial immunity. No one's debating that that's not a real science. It's just that they deny any side effects, they deny any problems, and then now they're using it as a social engineering tool and escalating it into hundreds of shots, and the carnage is clear, and they're doubling down going, we're going to vaccinate pregnant women, we're going to increase the vaccines. Yeah, this year's flu shot doesn't work, so get another one. It's just a pure wall of arrogance, and then now they want to bully everyone into you cause people to get sick and to create a new divide and conquer. Feminist against men, black against white, white against black, Hispanic against this, North against South, this football team against that football team. Divide, 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 while the globalists are literally screwing us 7 ways to Sunday. Thank you for the call, Jeff. Alex in Wisconsin, you're on the air.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm here from Wisconsin, and I was born in the 80s. And I got my standard round when I was a kid, immunity shot. And pretty much right away, I started having epileptic fever seizures.
Mm-hmm. That's in the inserts, yeah.
And my parents didn't know what was going on. And pretty much when I turned 5 and around that age, I made sure not to get any other shots. And it continues for like a long time, having problems with that. And still to this day, I have that type of issue. I also had like educational issues. I had like a pretty heavy speech impediment. And
absolutely, your brain had an autoimmune response. Look, it says in all the vaccine inserts, can cause epileptic seizure, epileptic shock, can cause all sorts of inflammation on the brain, neurological disorders, Guillain-Barré. And when you take the shot, if you don't have a convulsion in the facility, and you have it the next day and an ambulance comes, they don't ask, did you just have a shot? Even though everybody knows the big elephant in the room is that, so, Mr. Brown, you've never had a history of epileptic seizure and you've never had this in your family. Well, we're going to do a CAT scan to see if you have a brain tumor. Now, that's on the outside that you were having, these sudden seizures because of a brain tumor. But they don't care. They're going to milk some cash out of you now. Because they're never going to say something that the medical cult put out did this. But I'm really sad to hear that happen to you. I know a bunch of people that have lost their jobs and are on disability because their feet and hands are numb now and they can't do their jobs. And that's just part of America. You take your shot, and if you're lucky, your hands and feet just get paralyzed or numb. For other folks, they end up on a respirator and, in a hellish facility and bankrupting their whole family. But that's what we do to take the shot to prove we love government. And we sacrifice ourselves on the altar of the loving government. We will continue, no matter how many children die, no matter how many people have convulsions, no matter how many birth defects. We love our loving government, and we love doing what they say. Appreciate your call. Blake in Maryland. Blake, you're on the air.
Well, hi, darling. How are you?
I'm being a little cynical and sarcastic here. It's very, very sad to see this full push.
And my husband is jealous of you because you do a better Marvin Martian than he does.
Oh, dear.
We'll
inoculate